shortly happens to be the revision class CR373. And basically, class it's it's going to be more or less of taking out questions, more questions, and students are expected to write answers to the question. You don't have to keep it for yourself. I feel the best way you can have this revision communicated well properly is have this online revision. So that's why I decided to use this kind of method. That's why I decided to use this kind of method. Mode 2. I think I need to switch different. So let's that point, achieving the result of the point. I don't like the way this blue light is giving me this effect. I'm not sure I like that. So we are going to bring you advice to pay detailed attention. So I don't like the way it's giving this effect on this other side of my face. Just a moment. Better. Okay. So, like I said, some questions together. So please pay attention to the sound of my voice and try as much as you can to provide answers to this question. So, without further ado, let's hop straight into this class. And will be on conflict. Alright? So, in your own words, what do you of conflict? What do you understand by conflict? Comment section I'm looking for my end here. So, let's ensure to give responses to question and everything. So, session will do that. And let's just make sure it's even though you don't know the question like that, like I usually encourage students, just try as much as you can to see something about the question. It's very important. It's not like CBT and stability. This is POP. You have the grace of when you write something, when you come across a question and you try and attempt something, you still get something. It's over 5. You can get like 1 and 1.5 or 2. 2 here, 3 here, 5 there, 4 here. Add it together. It makes sense. So let's take the first question. What do you understand by word conflict? Okay. What do you understand by what it means by conflict? Alright, so let's keep the definitions. I believe conflict is not new to you, something you must have heard of before now. Alright, and especially this department. Oh, wonderful. Especially this department is something you must have come across in different forms and different courses and everything. Let's keep the answers coming. Just like I said, we come across the questions say something about the question you've been asked. Okay. So we have two persons, alright, who assess of the right. Now, this person says conflict can be defined as open armed clashes between two or more, alright, armed clashes between two or more, right, two or more centrally organized parties, okay, not bad, like I use all these alright, so you need to make things easy for yourself, alright, you can just stop that, that would have been fun, and whenever you let you, thank you very much for that, Joe. I think the same person is also saying the same thing, yeah, the other person is saying the same thing, so in one of our classes, we talked about conflict there are some conflict that happen within you as an individual. Alright, there are some conflict that happen between groups, between two persons, that's inter-conflict. Alright, but when you're dealing with intra-personal conflict, but when it's within groups, now it's inter-group conflict. So now that's basically all this kind of conflict. Basically, you don't use conflict that both parties are now beginning to confront each other, and they are now using certain things, certain objects to defend themselves. These are armed conflicts. So let's take what are the features of armed conflict? You know what conflict is, you know what armed conflict is. When you hear of armed conflict, okay, no, we know what that is already. I said it already. So, what are the features of armed conflict? Just mention two features of armed conflict. Two features, all right, of armed conflict. Yes, that's one of the features. Very well. Yes, we have fiction. Yes. I want to talk about fictions now. These both parties are definitely not in good times. Definitely have fictions. Since they are not in good times. Right now, it comes with certain pain. Oh yeah, have that in armed conflict. When it comes to armed now, I think both parties or by a particular party to just take over the case or win the battle or the misunderstanding between the statistical parties. They might need to so those are some of the features. Danger, we have danger, we have fictions, things, yes. Alright, never can tell like this and it gets to the point that it does. So we have that aspect. Armed conflict also, just like I said, it's now a conflict that is competition is high. Alright? So my parties are now confronting each other, not just that, also when we say international armed conflict, happening on international level, and from local it's happening at the local level, or internal dimensions. All right, still locally, internal dimensions. All these confrontations different sets of values in a particular country. Okay, so we have that. Now let's take a step further. Excuse me. You already agree that certain objects are used as a means of defense or offense in a place. So please, this is a disclaimer. On this channel, we don't encourage support or violence. What we do here is, according to the material, we only educate. Alright? We don't support now, according to the material, we say it's kind of conflict that arms are employed. Yes, they are being used. So the kind of conflict determine the kind of conflict. In an international level now, definitely these parties have arms, right? And the kind of arms involved will determine the kind of conflict it is. Now it says here, arms in post-conflict states. When we say post, we are talking about after. Alright, you cannot compare it to before and current. So the kind of arms used after, they are different in the sense that now they want peace. So no using of extravagant or unnecessary arms. Even they might still be using arms. Are we together? So I'm just trying as much as possible to break it down for us. Questions similar or questions directly like this in the exam, we can be able to write. Okay, so we have that. Now, according to what we have in the material here, the material is telling us still about these weapons of arm. There are some armed conflict that, you know, might go as far as using nuclear weapons. All right, and when we talk about nuclear weapons, these are weapons from a whole new level. They are weapons on a whole new level. So let's just quickly consider what it means. Earlier, what we do here is nuclear education. We don't do otherwise. Now, nuclear weapons are the most dangerous weapon on earth. Alright? One can destroy a whole city, potentially eliminating millions of lives. Alright? Eliminating millions and jeopardizing the natural resources and life of future generations. Through what? That's how dangerous. That's how dangerous. Countries or two states are definitely you cannot be using nuclear weapon within a state. So it's more of an international level. Alright, so we're explaining of international level or not. When parties are involved, because even generations to come will suffer the effect of the weapon. So we have that as that. Okay, now some of the features of nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons has its own features, and some of these features are mass destruction. Alright, some of these features are mass destruction. Alright, very dangerous. It destabilizes the things. I want to talk about very quickly. Now, we'll be able to talk about big arms, likes of well, also in the material here, it talks about arms, small arms and its effects. Alright? Now, when we say small arms, these are arms that you can move around unnoticed. You can't move around with the usual. Like I said earlier, can be kind of. So we also have small arms, and we want to talk about the effect of this on communal conflict. So these small arms are the effect of kind of local conflict within a state. So we have, as we have in here, it says that now we talk about small arms. I'm beginning to change this to a class now. I'm not belonging to it, but it's okay. These are the that's fine. Now, like I said, small arms are arms that you can move around, alright, easily with. Okay? And we have it here. They are designed for individual use by military forces. Alright? So it does not require one or two persons. It does not require two or three persons. It's a whip or a hand that one person can operate and use. Okay. And so what is the effect of this arm on communal says here communal conflicts? Not like this one. Yes, so local conflicts, if the conflict has escalated, some of the parties will use what we call arms. Alright? And it's unfortunate because all these arms that goes around is not supposed to be. They should be military personnel. But how come these arms escaping from outsiders? Reasons like, alright, echoes of war, there are some situations whereby there's a large scale war or conflict some country has support from external countries, and after the whole thing, after the whole war and everything, there's fighters or mercenaries, and one from one hand to the other, then it begins to spread. Alright, because normally the arms should not be non-military personnel. That's just a logical explanation to how these arms get across to the wrong hand, and this wrong hand now begin to use it to impress, right, to victimize their parties when it comes to conflict, their conflicting parties. So basically, that's the effect of small arms on communal conflict. And it is just like I said, just like what I said, that the supply and demand of these arms definitely get to the wrong hands. Like these arms are being sold to who they are not to be sold to. So we have that. Let's take questions. Now let's look at this. Okay. Just a moment. I'm trying to get this together. Now, there's something called disarmament. Now, there's been a conflict and harms are being passed across. So now, when this conflict is over and peace has been allowed to take effect, there's something called disarmament. Right? These people that fight this war, they need to be extracted from society because of their experience, right? Not just the local thing, but this is that as disarmament. So now basically in one word, it has to do with the removal of all weaponry in conventional arms. All the removal of it from the system. So we have that. Excuse me. So let's take a couple of questions. There's some approaches to this concept of disarmament. There are some approaches to it. Okay, so let's consider some of the approaches. So it says here that when going through this process of disarmament, all right, there is need for heavy security. Okay, heavy security. All right, number one. All right, so some of the requirements of this disarmament might be getting out this weapon from the system. All right, rehabilitating or groups, and some of these approaches again are an exclusive focus on focus on individual disarmament. Like I said, the common approach requires both surrender of weapons and individual verification of combatant status. So, apart from those collecting this weapon, the people that have fought this battle, they have weapons themselves. So you also need to rehabilitate them when it comes to disarmament. If not, they are good enough to start another war because they've seen this one, they know how it goes. They know what to do, they know how to do their thing because they are limited. So we have that. Now there's something called reintegration. Okay? Now you've been able to disarm. That is awesome. Okay? But it doesn't end there. Now that you've disarmed successfully, there's something called reintegration. Now you've collected the arms, so you need to inject them back into the society. But now they are changed personalities. Now by injecting them into society does not mean you are leaving them at the expense of them looking for new jobs. Or at the expense of looking for no, you set them up. You settle them. And when we say settle them, alright, give them jobs, give them houses, make life comfortable and easy for them. Alright, because at every slightest discomfort, alright, they can go back to who they used to be. Alright, reintegrating into civilian life. The mentality of the military life has been rehabilitation. So you need to reintegrate them into that civilian life now, helping them to see and enjoy what it's like to be civilian. So we have that. So now it says reintegration is the process by which ex-combatants, people who fought combat before, ex-combatants acquire civilian status and gain sustainable employment and income. That's what ex-combatants acquire. This is the process whereby people who have been combatant before are given the opportunity to become a regular civilian, a normal civilian. Alright? With the aid of sustainable employment. They don't have to go and work like normal people work. You can set business up for them. Just You don't have to depend on anybody that yes, it's how much comes in. Alright, sustainable employment and income. And that's it. So we have that for that. I think we'll be able to do justice. Alright. So for those of us who are new to the stream, let's ensure to subscribe to the channel. Let's also ensure to next semester let's try and join the classes very fast. Like after you're done with your exam, give yourself 1 week break. Let's start taking classes because the better and the earlier we start taking classes, the more time we have to go through all the courses. And then if you are in class next semester, let's try and join early. So like some semesters, some department are not able to cover all their courses, especially for all these POP students. So please, I beg of you, next semester let's try and join classes. Join private class and so you can start taking your classes and before you know we will have covered all your courses even before TNA. Just telegram classes, discussing, expatiating on what we have learned. So thank you very much everyone. We're going to call it wrap here for tonight. So please let's ensure to still take time to go through the course material. Let's take down notes, Thank you very much. You have a wonderful evening. And I wish you all the best for exam tomorrow. And bye for now.